Jamaica's history is deeply intertwined with British colonialism, a period marked by economic exploitation and religious oppression. For centuries, the island nation endured the brutal realities of the transatlantic slave trade, its people reduced to mere commodities. This painful past continues to cast a long shadow over Jamaica's present. Even after gaining a so-called independence in 1962, the legacy of British colonialism persists, manifesting in political structures and Jesuit systems that perpetuate inequality and injustice. The British monarch, once a symbol of colonial dominance, remains a powerful figurehead in the order of precedence. This continued presence raises critical questions about the true nature of Jamaica's second independence. Is it merely symbolic, a facade masking the enduring grip of the British colonizer? The Kingdom of Debre Zeit Hueman rights defenders, representing the political interests of people of African descent in Jamaica and beyond, argues that this is indeed the case. They level serious charges against the British Crown, convicting it of gross human rights violations and a blatant disregard for international law. At the heart of their lawful human rights complaint lies the 1962 Jamaican Constitution, a document they argue is fundamentally flawed under the unanimous 1514 UN resolution. According to the Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders, this constitution, implemented at the supposed dawn of Jamaica's independence, is nothing more than a Jesuit tool of neo-colonialism, which is a gross violation of Article 4 of the Human Rights Covenant, UDHR Charter, in practicality. It is a political framework, they claim, designed to maintain the British monarch's control over the island nation, albeit through more subtle and insidious religious means. The Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders' serious charges against the British impostor hinge on a crucial point: the alleged illegitimacy of the 1962 Jamaican Constitution. They argue that this document, far from granting true independence, violates the very essence of the UN Decolonization Treaty. This decolonization treaty, a cornerstone of international law, explicitly states that all people have the right to self-determination and freedom from colonial rule. By imposing a neo-colonial constitution that maintains the British impostor as head of state, the Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders argues that the British government violated the spirit and letter of international human rights law. This act, they claim, is not merely a technicality, but a calculated strategy to retain control over Jamaica's political and economic systems without any mutually informed consent. The 1962 Constitution, in their view, is a Jesuit tool of neo-colonialism, global financial colonization, designed to give the illusion of independence while perpetuating a Jesuit system of religious subjugation. This alleged violation of the UN Decolonization Treaty, according to the Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders, constitutes an international felony. They further assert that the British impostor's criminal actions amount to high treason against the people of Jamaica, a betrayal of their international human birthright to self-governance and self-determination. These are serious charges, carrying significant weight in the realm of international law, which also threatens the legitimacy of his crown. The Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders argues that the consequences of this geopolitical Jesuit system of neocolonialism are far-reaching and devastating for the people of African descent in Jamaican territory. They claim that the 1962 Constitution has created a Jesuit system of debt slavery, where the nation is trapped in a cycle of loans and economic dependence on former colonial powers. This, they argue, is a deliberate political strategy to maintain control over Jamaica's resources and limit its economic potential in collective unity. Furthermore, the Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders points to what they call mental conditioning through satanic indoctrination of Roman Catholicism. They argue that the legacy of colonialism, with its imposition of Roman Catholicism, worship of the vicar for prophet as Jesus the world king, continues to impact the cultural and spiritual identity of Jamaicans today. This, they suggest, is a form of cultural oppression aimed at erasing indigenous beliefs and practices with Jesuit necromancy stories. The impact of the geopolitical Jesuit system of neocolonialism, according to the Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders, is evident in the social and economic challenges faced by many Jamaicans daily. Poverty, inequality, and a lack of access to basic services are just some of the issues they attribute to this enduring legacy of British colonial rule. The Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders' charges against the British impostor are not merely symbolic, but a lawful form of diplomatic remedy. They represent a growing human rights movement demanding accountability for the enduring legacy of British colonialism and its impact on the lives of people of African descent in 56 Commonwealth countries. Their call for international justice is a rallying cry for self-determination, a demand for the human birthright to shape their own destiny free from the shadows of the past. They demand immediate political action, calling for the dismantling of what they term the geopolitical Jesuit system of capitalism and usury, exploitation. This, they argue, requires a fundamental shift in economic power structures, a recognition of the inherent rights of all people to self-governance and self-determination. The Kingdom of Debre Zeit human rights defenders' call for international justice extends beyond Jamaica, resonating with communities around the world still grappling with the legacies of British colonialism and Jesuit neo-colonialism systematically. Their struggle is a reminder that the fight for true independence is far from over, and that human rights solidarity and collective action are essential to dismantling Jesuit systems of economic oppression and achieving a just and equitable modern world of social democracy. Political choices. Give thanks for witnessing the fulfillment of Ethiopian prophecy. If you need more information before we initiate a global rebellion against neo-colonialism, then please feel free to contact the Risen Solomonic Remnant at the Kingdom of Debre Zeit 2020 at gmail.com in Human Rights Solidarity Sela.